This is the story of a little girl. She was known as Little Red Riding Hood because of the cloak that she always wore. One morning, she went to visit her poorly grandma who lived in a cottage by the woods. Her mother had said to her, "Please stick to the path." "I will," she said, and she walked down the hill, over the bridge, and through the village. It was a beautiful day and she felt so happy she skipped along the path next to the river. Before long she arrived at the woods where the sun was shining through the trees. In between the trees a big bad wolf had spotted her, and he ran towards the little girl.
"Good morning, Little Red Riding Hood, and where are you going to?" said the wolf.
"Oh," said the little girl, "I'm going to visit my grandma at her cottage."
"Oh, really?" he said.
"Interesting." But the wolf had a plan. He wanted to get to the cottage first. He ran back through the woods and took a shortcut towards Grandma's cottage. He arrived at the cottage and checked no one was watching, and then he sneaked inside. "Is that you, Little Red Riding Hood?" said Grandma.
"Yes."
Yes it is, Grandma." "Well, come on in, dearie." "Ooh, my, you have grown. Come closer so I can see you." Just then the wolf jumped on the bed and ran towards Grandma. Grandma was old, but she could run fast. "Oh, dearie me!" She jumped out of bed and ran and hid in the wardrobe. The wolf disguised himself as Grandma and sat in her bed, and then he waited for the little girl to arrive. Meanwhile, Little Red Riding Hood was still walking along the path towards the cottage, and the wolf was still waiting. Finally, Little Red Riding Hood arrived at Grandma's cottage, and she walked up to the door and knocked. "Oh, finally," thought the wolf. "Is that you, Little Red Riding Hood?" said the wolf. "Come on in." "Oh, Grandma, what big eyes you have. All the better to see you with. What big ears you have. That's so I can hear you well. And Grandma, what big teeth you have. All the better to gobble you up," said the wolf, licking his lips. "Oh my!" She tried to run, but the wolf jumped up. "Help, help!" she screamed. A woodcutter was cutting logs in the forest and he heard her screams. He ran towards the cottage as fast as he could. "Try not to worry, I'm on my way," he said. The little girl suddenly stopped. "Stop right there," she said in a cross voice. "Just what do you think you're doing trying to frighten a little girl? You are much, much bigger than me." "What? But? No buts. You've been trying to frighten me, and you've frightened my grandma."
"Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to frighten you. I just wanted to be interesting and scary."
"No, you're acting like a bully, and that isn't very kind." "I think you should think about what you've done today," said the little girl. And with that, the wolf ran out of the door, and he was never seen again. Grandma opened the door. "Is it safe?" she said. "Yes," said Little Red Riding Hood, and she helped Grandma out. The woodcutter arrived. "That wolf won't be bothering you again," he said. Little Red Riding Hood, Grandma and the woodsman had a lovely afternoon tea, and they didn't need to worry again.